I don't care. I don't care. I have no sympathy. Don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry. Well, hello. How are we?
What's up?
Are we missing someone?
I don't think Chugs is here. Where'd he go?
I was doing research. Closest Lambo dealership to Memphis is either Atlanta or St. Louis.
Okay. Well, Atlanta's a hub city for Delta, so probably a pretty quick flight to get there.
To go pick up his Lambo.
So let's say that you like what would the process look like for that? Let's say that you happen to find someone that would sell you could sell it for like 100 ETH or whatever it was. Like what would the process look like from I sold this thing on OpenSea to like I have a Lambo key in my hand? Like how long would that take?
Probably a while. I don't know how you get that to cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the tax implications.
I
Does
feel
Lambo
like we should
take ETH?
Good question. Anybody in the chat know? I know Tesla takes Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a better chance at Tesla.
Yeah.
At
I
least
don't
more
know,
quickly.
man. So for anybody that has no idea what we're talking about, Chugs, who is our fourth wheel and is not here right now, I think he's up at his cabin or something like that, or lake house or, whatever. He's looking at the views outside. They're in real life. They're great. But he was gifted one of the 140 initial Twitter NFTs, which was awesome. So if you missed that, check that out. Go to the Twitter page. They did a drop. Fun fact, and I'm going to remove my screen for a second so that we can see all of our beautiful faces. And then I'll remove the Twitter NFTs because we'll start there. Not NFTs. Fun fact. Thoughts on that?
Because they're not unique, right? Is that the
Correct.
difference?
They are an ERC 1155 token, and they are semi-fungible tokens, essentially, like multi-tokens. So each of the 7 different designs has 20 copies, essentially, and all of them are essentially the same. There is no like yours is different than mine is different than Greg's. They're all the same. So they're all fungible with one another. So the like if you think NFT, non-fungible token, no, these are fungible. They're only fungible with all their 19 of them in their little cohort, but they're definitely fungible. So kind of a little bit of an interesting situation there, but hey, 25 ETH for an SFT or an NFT, I don't care. It's pretty nuts. I think one of them sold for 50. Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Is that why, like, when you look at it on OpenSea, they're all like bunched together? Like you see, I'm not looking at Chugs'
correct
NFT. I'm looking at all of those other ones. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Correct.
So is that the only difference?
Chugs.
So they're serialized.
Hello.
There he is, man. I thought he quit.
In the flesh.
Nice hat.
I just had to flex my cool cat's hat for a second here. Oh, you got yours? There we are. So I just wanted to pop in. I've got 10 minutes. I've literally got 10 minutes. So sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
Continue, and I'll chime in if I
So
feel like
Chugs,
that.
you got an NFT. Which one did you get?
I got vitamin T.
I think I can pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah, I tweeted out a gift version of it, which is pretty easy. So I guess you could like maybe look through my feed, and it's somewhere hit media maybe, and it might be near the top. But yeah, I guess more like being persistently annoying paid off maybe. Yeah, there it is. So I think that one creatively, I think that's the coolest one, like from a creative standpoint.
Of course you do.
I mean, yeah. But
Greg, was there one that you thought was the coolest of the 7?
I really like the furry Twitter.
I did too.
That's what I was all about. I think yeah, didn't Josh get one of those?
Yeah, Josh got the furry one. Josh Ong. I'm not sure if he's here. So for anybody that may not have seen it, I'll send this link in the chat, but these were the 7 different Twitter NFTs that they came out with. Excuse me, not NFTs, SFTs.
Yeah, right.
But I liked the furry one, and I loved the Tamagotchi one. Taylor, what did you think? Did you tweet at him?
Yeah, I threw my hat in the ring. I thought they were seemingly giving them out to people that weren't trying too hard. So I thought you and Chugs had no chance. And then Chugs got one.
Yeah.
Chugs, I have a question. Are you at all concerned that the pills look like Viagra?
No, because they're shaped like a square, and if my memory serves me right, Viagra is more like an oval shape. The funny thing is, I did show it to a friend who like has no idea about any of this stuff, and they were like, cool. They were like, cool. Yeah, right. My fun fact: my brother-in-law used to sell it, so that's how I know. I had a T-shirt in high school.
There you go.
I had a T-shirt. I had a Viagra T-shirt in high school that I proudly wore. People were like, "What is this?" Like 16-year-old kid wearing Viagra shirt. But
I love it.
Yeah, they hit me back. The comments they hit me on the furry Larry one, and I was like, "Sweet, I'm getting the furry bird one." And so I would have been happy. I mean, obviously, any of them would have been sweet, but those were the two that I liked the most: the furry bird or the vitamin T. So.
This is a question I have as well. What are the odds that you keep this?
I mean, it depends how long. I've talked with other people who are fortunate enough to get this, and not like a lot, maybe 3 or 4. And the ones that I've spoken to are of the opinion of not moving it anytime soon, at least not for a substantial figure. So I'm kind of leaning in that same boat, frankly. I mean, this is a good sport that may get me a pump.
No, we don't know because we didn't hear any of that. Can you repeat that from the beginning? Yeah, it's bad.
Okay, I'll drop out after answering. I was saying maybe I could flip it into a crypto pump. That's kind of the big picture, right?
Yeah, and I actually was thinking about that, and we have obviously we have a DM with all 4 of us, but one of the things that is really common right now across all of these projects and everything, like there are people that have enough expendable, disposable income to just throw more money from their paycheck at stuff, but for the most part, that's not really how most of these projects are operating, right? Most people are becoming in various forms of liquidity through like crypto money that they put into things, are liquidating to do other things. Like that seems to be, at least from my perspective, more common than not. So like, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like if you prefer punks because they have like a really significant historical value in the NFT space, and you have this very significant NFT asset or SFT asset, as the case may be, like, and you prefer one over the other, like fucking do it. Like I would do what makes you happy. And if that's something that you'd rather have a punk in your, and I was actually thinking about this, and I may have said something like this before. If there's anybody out there that's got 100 punks, because there's only like 2,000 punk owners. There's like not that many, right, Greg? Like, I don't know. Did you do that analysis on the?
Yeah, I did, but I don't remember how many were on there.
It was like 1,900.
It's a lower number than you would think. Yeah.
Yeah, of the 10,000 punks out there. So like, if I'm sure you could find a punk owner that's got 100 of them that would be like, hey, I will trade you one of my 100, or one of my 100 and one of my 100 apes and these other things in a package for something like this. So hey, if there's anybody out there that's listening to this that's got a punk or more punks that you're looking to turn into a more rare asset, in this case a Twitter NFT that also has historical value, right, in some way, it's just a different type of historical value, then perhaps there is a mutually beneficial arrangement that can be made.
Yeah, possible. We'll see.
All right, man.
Hit me up.
Well, hey, yeah, go have fun with your family. We'll talk later.
See you guys.
Cool.
Bye.
Later.
See ya.
Cool. So we can remove that one from the wheel. The wheel. We had talked about this before, of like at some point, after we talk with the Cool Cats guys, doing like literally, hey, there's been so much that's happened in the last 2 weeks, like spin the wheel and we'll talk about something and we'll set a timer. But before we do that, we have special guests. So let's bring them on. So we've got Clon and ELU from the Cool Cats team, not to be confused with Cool Cats, the set on TopShot, Cool Cats NFTs that dropped today. How are you guys?
Yo. You know what I'm saying? We're just a room full of cats here now.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. Well, hey, so we talked a little bit before the stream, but just for background for everyone here, I had literally never heard of the Cool Cats NFT project until today when someone posted in one of my Discords, "Hey, there's a Cool Cats NFT. Is this associated with us?" I'm like, no. And my first reaction, literally, I think my first message was cease and fucking desist in all caps.
Yeah, hopefully that's still not the case. You know,
get these fools out of here. Yeah. What are they doing?
Which is great. So, I'm super excited to have you guys on. I don't think we've had any NFT like project leads on. Have we, Greg or Taylor?
I don't think so.
No, we've had a handful.
How destined is it then that Cool Cats has Cool Cats on? You know what I mean? Like, it only makes sense, right? As the first NFT thing.
Yeah. It is fitting. It is very fitting. So for everybody in the chat, I'll post the actually I'll just share my screen so we can look at it really quickly. The Cool Cats NFT website, which I'd say, hey, go buy one, but you can't.
It's sold out.
You guys sold out. So do you know the specific time that you sold out?
We went live at 1 p.m. EST, and then I want to say 8 hours later we sold out. But I don't know if you guys found your way to the Discord, but we had I don't want to call it a hiccup, but we came out the gate at a higher price, and the community was like, hey, we're interested, but why don't we knock it down a little bit? So we huddled real quick. We made the number more juicy, and then 8 hours later, there's no more Cool Cats to be had. So here we are.
Yeah, I definitely saw that. And I think, so I'm curious, what was the genesis in your conversations about where you were going to price this? Like, how did you come up with 0.06 to begin with? Was it hey, it's a little bit less than the 0.08 standard, or
yeah, it's also
what was the calculus on that?
A variable conversation too, because like you're also at the mercy of whatever the price Ethereum is at the time, you know? Yeah. So it's like, I don't remember how we landed on it. We go into so many of these like echo chambers of like validation and self-reassurance of like, of course, this is the number that makes sense. Like, yeah, of course. Exactly. And you self-bias confirm that that's like the best price point. And then you throw the first stone in the water and people are like, wait a second, this is too much. And we're like, well, fuck, we've been talking to ourselves too long. So.
Well, and like with our other project, I mean, we were so stuck on like a bonding curve because bonding curve
that was the thing. So you guys saw that.
And then now that's just completely out the door. Like no one does bonding curves
last year.
Last year.
Yeah, if you do a bonding curve, you're a bad person.
Exactly.
I feel like that's the sentiment.
Yeah.
Which is sort of true. But yeah, I think there's also weird like the art generated or what is it called? The like random generated NFT projects. Those are like sweeping generalizations that sort of get applied to a lot of projects that Clon and I were like the art bros, and the whole collection revolves around Blue Cat, which is a character he's been as a brainchild of his and his character of over like 10 years now. So it's like it's sort of one of those things when people were like, oh, is this another just like a random generated project? It's like we meticulously curated a bunch of assets and art and combinations. So literally everything makes sense and looks good together, and it's just up to the RNG gods on how it's assembled. Whereas, lately we've seen a lot of these, it's just like a picture of a rock, like rejigged a zillion different times. And it's like, random generated art, they're all unique. And it's like, I mean, you're not wrong, but they all suck. Like ours are all like actually unique. So it's an interesting,
And going back to your, how we landed on that price point, we were just kind of like looking around at other projects, and it looked like 0.06 was a very common kind of number. But once his name Cole,
the pickle
once
guy,
he entered the chat, he was like, hey, I love this project, but I could definitely see it being cheaper. And that was exactly what we needed to hear, like at the right moment too.
I think when I saw it, and I mentioned this before, and I walked in, I was like, oh, 0.06. I had 0.08 ETH in my wallet. And I actually was like trying yesterday to do a Lucky Maneki, but the gas was too high. It was like $4 more than I had in my ETH wallet.
Unlucky.
And I was like, fuck, all right, whatever. So then today I was like, oh, cool. 0.06, like cool cats, match made in heaven, like my Discord or the group of Discord folks that helped me run the Discord. I was like, oh, cool. I'll hop in, whatever. And then I was literally about to click mint and I saw the like, oh, we're switching it. Hold on.
Wait.
Like, oh wait, I can buy 3 of these, which was awesome. And I actually pulled an exotic one, which is cool. I really enjoy it.
Bro, you got to flex your exotic. You can't just talk the talk.
Let's see it. I'll show you mine right now. But so talk while I'm doing this, and so give some background. So you mentioned this character, this blue cat character you've had this for 10 years or so. So like, what have you been doing? Has it been mostly like Instagram stuff, or you do like, what other content are you creating with the cat?
So like Blue Cat all started, I mean, I was simply just a person that would doodle on the side of my homework in class, and that's like in a way how I started illustrating. And so once I got a little older, I made an Instagram and I did this like 100 days drawing thing where each day I drew something. And slowly this cat character had like evolved from that. And then which led me to create the Cattoonist. And the Cattoonist was kind of just like really in 2015 and 2016 was like the peak of me creating all the illustrations for it. And I was kind of just developing this character. It in a way was a reflection of me, and I just made comics, silly things, yada yada yada. And it kind of just started growing, and I just kept going with it. But then eventually, kind of around 2017, 2018, I kind of had to focus on like IRL work more, and kind of had to put this on the back burner. I wasn't necessarily happy with like the audience I had been growing with, because it was literally a bunch of cat profiles, and who only wanted to draw.
You know those people who are just like their Instagram is literally just like it's like
their cat.
Yeah, literally. And not to shit on people, because they did give me great support. It was mainly just that no one really cared about the illustration, and I think that got in my head, and then I kind of just like put Blue Cat like down for a little while. And then I kind of mentioned it earlier that Evan and I were working on a project before this, and our dev kind of backed out and we were put back to square one. We were sad about the whole thing. And I turned around and looked at this poster I have on my wall, and it's just a bunch of cats wearing different outfits and different faces. And I had known about these avatar like randomly generated projects, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude! Oh, that basically see that one? That this is a hand drawn one, but I mean that's essentially what I was looking at." And I was like, "Dude, let's do this." And so we're like, "Great, but we don't have a dev." And we reached out to this other NFT, Faticorns, where we found our 2 devs, Tom and Link, and then the project was birthed.
And here we are, a bunch of cool
stuff. Here we are, and now we're on your stream talking about it.
Yeah. So you drew 9,999 unique cats.
No.
Okay.
No.
How did you do it?
I drew one blue cat, and like went all in on perfecting that. But then, like for instance, looking at the hat, like I drew the hat separately, and I drew the shirt separately, and I drew the face separately. And so it's all on an artboard, like a specific size. And so literally you're just laying all of those onto one image. The hat is the first one, so that's always going to be on top. Under that is the face, and then under that is the shirt, and under that is the body. And that's how you create a cool cat.
And how we get to so there's over 300,000 total combinations, but how you get to that is just a simple, I don't know the numbers off top, Colin probably does, but it's like, if you have a grand total of like 25 faces, 35 hats and like 50 different shirts. Exactly. It's like an exponential growth. So the possibilities are air quote endless, or just like a shit ton. So you can get a whole bunch of
I think that's a technical term. There's
a shit ton.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Really like how
go ahead, Dan.
Well, I've seen some other projects where the combinations kind of just look like me when I learned Photoshop, and it's like things layered on top of each other, and they kind of don't blend in well, or the layering's weird. And I feel like each of these, even though they are generative, genuinely look like you sat down and drew them.
That's like the
individually.
point we were trying to really nail home, that from a developer perspective, like when we talk to the devs, we're like, yo, but our art is so much better. Like you got to understand. But a lot of devs are like, but it's just generated. You're like, no, you like, come on, man. Like we actually put like intention into this. Like this shit makes sense on top of each other. It's not just like pixels on a screen and like, shrug it off.
I do have a question. Did you do any sort of like, before launching, did you do any sort of testing to be like, hey, let's just have it generate 10,000. We want to flip through them and see what this looks like.
Yeah. If Tom was here right now, he'd literally be laughing at that question. Like, he would just do like sheets of like thousands at a time, and we would just like go over them like we're looking at, I don't even know what you look at thousands at a time of, but we're like Sherlock Holmes over here, just making sure like, oh, this guy's beards, doesn't match his hat. Like, let's make sure these combinations don't work. So there was a lot of behind the scenes testing how the meat was made before we opened up the shop.
I mean, I got to the point where I had looked at so many cats, I started doubting myself in the project altogether. I was like, they all look the same. They all look the same.
No one cares, bro.
And no one cares. They all look the same.
Does this even look like a cat? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So aesthetically, you guys were kind of, you pick things that if they didn't look good together, you would just nix those combinations entirely, it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple if-thens, like if, your cat has this attribute, then he can't have this other attribute, because they're like conflicting, like a beard might not fit in the spaceman's helmet because it's just like looks goofy. So like we have really specific rules that no one's ever going to see because we saw them and we're like, well, this looks terrible. So let's, make it that way.
All right.
And then and then these guys.
Yeah. I gotta ask. What is
you
this
gotta
about?
ask? Yeah. You say it, Evan.
Well, so we're launching. Everyone's adrenaline is going out of their butts, mine included. And then this guy, Clon, he drops in the channel. He's like, unknown cats. This is net new information to me. I didn't even know that this was a thing. So him and Tom had their own conversations together, and they're like, bro, let's sneak in like 10 custom ones. And I'm like, are they trolling me? Like, is this real? I'd like to think I was, an equal part of this team, damn it. But
we wanted you to be surprised too.
Yeah.
Surprise and delight.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot, or at least a handful of us do, like NFT projects in general in the space. The stuff that's sticky is the stuff that is like interesting and surprising and delightful.
Yeah.
And it's whimsical in a lot so as well. If you're,
it's got that extra like aha component of just like, well, I want to see.
Yeah, it's cool. And I really, so some of the things from my perspective, like having seen a handful of these drops go super poorly with like massive gas wars or people coming in and just like being pissed off, or, we sort of joke about the combinations, but that's coming from like, some of these other projects like Misfit U, where you end up with these really questionable things that come out of these generative projects. So like my experience today with it was like, oh, cool, I get to see this right away. Yeah. And like, that was really awesome. And
you're like, wait a second, this actually works.
Oh shit. Like I just minted one and here it is. And this is the one that I got. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like it's an exotic one. Like, and I lucked out because I got one of the, top, I don't know, was it 500 or so out of, it's like, which is great. And it's cool. And I have no idea what that means in terms of secondary market stuff, if I'm looking to sell it at any point, but like, I'm not really thinking about that right now. I was just like, oh, that one is cool. Right. And I think there was a lot of that. And for me, when I was thinking about it, I was like, I feel way better about having 3 at 0.02 than I would out of having one of them at 0.06. So I'm like, a big kudos to you guys for audibling in the moment. I did see a question in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if it already got addressed in your Discord or otherwise, but for anybody else that may have minted at 0.06, what's your plan for that? It sounded like you were maybe either going to drop cats to those people or ETH to those people. Can you articulate that a little bit?
We got like 700. We bought like 700 cats from the contract ourselves in order to give those to people. We did a poll as far as what people want back, either ETH or cats. It was like mostly a 60-40 splits. So we're still trying to crack the nut as far as the best way to do it. Luckily, we only got to like 300-ish mints before we pivoted the price, so it's not like too many people we gotta deal with. I know, great.
We gotta talk about that.
Yeah, so we're gonna be giving back a mixture of ETH and cats. Ethan cats and Ethan cats.
Yeah, and so basically, we're gonna tell everyone it's kind of your decision. Do you want more two more cats for the one that you bought, or do you just want your Ethereum?
Well, that's
because
dope.
a lot of Evan, I think what I realized was a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, give us Ethereum back so we can buy more cats." And we're like, "Wait, these are gonna sell out before we can even make that happen." Like, no, let's buy these cats. So I hope everyone wants the cats, but we're more than willing to give them the F back. So
I have to ask Cole or Clon, you now have seen 8 hours of minting 9,999 combinations of your art.
Yeah.
Is there one that you're like, that is fucking dope?
There is one.
Really cool. Okay, how do I find it?
It's just a personal favorite of mine, and they're in our Discord.
I can get
they named themselves Prince of the Hot Dogs.
Perfect.
Where do I go?
I think you can find it if you go on like the Who's Online, and if you were to scroll down that list, I think it's their profile picture. But it's Prince of. It starts with a J, I'm pretty sure, but it's like a red background. And they're wearing a hot dog costume with that one. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm personally biased towards that face. It's just a face I've always loved. I had to add it into the mix. And there's just something about the expression of it with like the teeny crown on top and the hot dog costume. It just like, this one is so funny to me. And so I think that is so far my personal favorite.
I love it. I love it. Very, very cool. All right. So other things like, first of all, I know that you guys are super tired and you guys got to go pop champagne and stuff and all of that, but I'm curious if there's anything today beyond just like, hey, we augmented the prices, this, sped up or slowed down, anything that you're like, we were not expecting this to happen that did happen while you guys were doing everything.
I mean, the influx, it's interesting because you can only promote and hype and shill your project so much before you like go live. Like you got to be validated, you know what I mean? Like you got to open the doors and have someone come in and be like, yo, this sucks, or like, hey, this is cool. So just like sort of seeing the wildfire right in front of us, just sort of ebb and flow from like, oh, it's stagnating, it's slowing down, and then like you blink and it's like, wait a second, there's a zillion people in Discord, like wait a second, and just seeing like the community answer each other's questions. You're like, oh, sick, like people are getting along, this is nice. So just seeing that like right in front of your eyes, like nothing broke, and like we were able to be nimble on our feet with the price pivot, and just like it was great, man. It was great.
That was what I did see that. Do you know how, like, if there's anybody that has the most minted? I know I saw at least one person at 100. Do you know offhand, like, who has the most?
We saw someone with 99 or 100 in the in the chat, but I don't know off the top.
This guy, by the way, reminds me of the I don't know if it's like the scientist guy from Lilo and Stitch. But
yeah, with the eyes.
With the eyes, like I see that and I'm like, oh, that's that guy. But yeah, I love these. All of the expressions are great. I'm like, it's whimsical and silly in like a not kitschy way.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes sense, but
original, you know, it's like, are you familiar with like Pusheen the cat?
Yeah.
It's like Pusheen's one of the most like simple like designs and illustrations, but it's so lovable and it's so like intentional, or like even Hello Kitty, like the sort of aesthetic that we're with Blue Cats. It's like cute, but it's also like hype. You know what I mean? It's very.
I've actually had this sticky note literally since the birth of this project, when Evan and I were talking about like what we should do, and it's literally just a drawing of a scale, and it says cool and cute on one side, and like I had to make sure that our cool was like a little bit higher than cute, but it needed to be both of those things.
You know, yeah.
You should sell that.
You should
illustrate the sticky note of the cool, cute scale and make it a 1-of-1 addition to minted on OpenSea. The cool cats, cool and cute. So on that note, though, and I sort of jest about that. I saw a couple comments in the chat. And I'm also as well curious, what is the future of this look like? I know that there's a couple raffles or giveaways,
so we got,
but what's next?
Blue Cats Gen 1, we're going to implement breeding, but we sort of ideally just want the community to help. There's so many projects that we've seen, whether they're like crypto projects or NFT projects, that it's like, oh, they launched great and everyone loved them, and then they did XYZ and like now it's trash. So we really want to get breeding right and just like roll out Gen 2 right. So I don't know if it's going to be like polls or just like community talks and conversations, but breeding is definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of we're going to figure out the best way to implement what that looks like. So we're going to just have some community driven feedback and conversations to figure out how can we please the most people and just give the people what they want. So that's probably as much as we can say about that. But yeah, also we're going to be giving some raffles and giveaways of merch, cats, ETH, all the good stuff to keep the people around.
If Tom was here, he might be able to elaborate about breeding a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that's like,
the Jimmy Neutron,
figured this all out, and then then we had to get to like drawing and creating it and like creating like gen trees or gene trees or whatever, and how like everything
it's complicated
mix together. Yeah, exactly. And one joke that we played around with is like maybe it's cool kittens. Like maybe you breed and you get a kitten that eventually has to grow up, kind of thing.
Ooh, all you cool cats and kittens.
I'm not saying
did you guys get a Carol Baskin cameo?
Yeah.
That's why we got to jump, is because we're talking to her next on the
exactly.
There you go. So hey, I won't keep you much longer. I know you guys got to go and everything. You want to do a little giveaway? You want to do?
I think we should, man. We got a couple cats in the chamber, so it might not hurt to ask a couple people.
All right. Yeah. So what we're going to do, I have Nightbot. I'll pull it up. So we're going to do Nightbot. So if anybody is watching this on YouTube, awesome. Really glad that you're supporting the YouTube channel. We're broadcasting in both so that I don't have to save down the video and then post it on YouTube. That's literally why I do it. So that said, I'm going to give you 1 minute to get over to the Twitch stream and log in. You need a Twitch account to be able to be eligible for this giveaway. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to pull up open Nightbot, and what I'm going to do is type in a keyword, and the keyword is going to be cool cats. And that is going to be everybody that in the chat needs to type cool cats within the last 5 minutes or so. And with that, I will then roll that. And we will do 3 of those to give away. What I'm going to do is pause between each of them. Once a person has drawn, what I need you to do is DM me on Twitch or Twitter, either one. I need you to send me. It is the responsibility of the person that has won the giveaway. It is your responsibility to DM me, whether on Twitch or Twitter, your ETH address. And I'll reiterate this over and over again, but you have to take the initiative to send me the ETH address. I'm not going to chase you down. You got to find it. So that is what we're going to do. Cool cats is going to be 2 different words, cool cats. And we are going to give that away, or give 3 of those away, to everybody in the Twitch chat. So with that, I'm curious, guys. So you said you minted 700 of them for like future giveaways and stuff. So I'm curious, are you gonna like crack some for yourselves? Have you already?
Well, we had 100 on reserve for the giveaway, but then because of our like stutter step out of the gate, where we changed the price, then we secured more to like offset the people who we want to comp back. So we have. Sure. So we have like those original 100 for like the giveaways, and then those 700 to recomp of the
for the 350 people.
So
it makes total sense.
So it's a weird number, but yeah.
And actually, so I didn't just mess up once; I messed up twice when buying all those cats. I accidentally pulled 2 of the unknown cats. And I was a little pissed because I wanted that to be organic and go to the community. But for every cool cat holder, we're going to be probably doing a giveaway of some sorts. So those will still be available in the near future. Yeah.
Very cool. So we have cool cats, everybody in the chat, cool cats. It looks like we have 58 eligible users. That is not very many relative to how many people are actually in the chat. So cool cats.
Is it case sensitive?
It is not case sensitive.
Okay.
lowercase if you want to be sure, but it is not case sensitive. Cool cats. So we're gonna roll this in 30 more seconds.
Cool.
So
yo, and shout out you real quick one more time, man, for just putting us on blast and telling your communities about us. That's really
dude. Seriously,
it's very so. This is there's been a lot in I don't know how much NFT Twitter you consume, but like the section of NFT Twitter that I see is like so vitriolic right now. Everybody's so fucking mad at each other, and everybody's so mad at all these quote unquote influencers. And you can lump me into that group if you want. I don't care. I'm like, I literally don't fucking care. But it's not a function. Like you guys didn't reach out to me. Like I literally fell into your Discord, and I was like, no shit. Like let's go, just for like for fun. It's not.
Well, that was the beautiful chaos of the internet. You know, you're just minding your own business, trying to.
I'm like cease and desist, damn it. And then it kind of grew on me, and like literally throughout the day, I'm sitting there and was like, these are kind of cute. Like, I can do this. You know. So, Greg, you missed out. We're up to 104 eligible users, so we're gonna roll it here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. BGC 0614. I recognize that name.
Wait,
BGC 0614 is a cool cat holder from the Nine Lives Lounge.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations. We're compatriots in that regard. So BGC, hit me up in Discord DM. I know where you live. Let's go. Yeah, hit me up. Just in the Discord DMs with your ETH address, and I will send it along for you. All right. So again, cool cats. We're still over 100 eligible users. We're gonna roll the next one here in. Roll it again. Here we go. DP3ZZ3Z. I've seen this name before too. DP3ZZ.
There he is. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I see you don't have a profile picture. Well, maybe you do now.
Yes, you might. You might. So, and I recognize that name too. So hit me up in Twitter, Twitch, or Discord DMs with your ETH address. Awesome. Hit me up on Twitter. Sweet deal. All right. So last one, last but not least, the last Cool Cats giveaway. Again, if you are just joining us, Cool Cats, type it in the chat. Make sure that you're eligible. I'm going to switch my hat to my Cool Cats, the one that you can see.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's new to the Plunge End stream, this is merch that we made for the TopShot Cool Cat stuff. We are happy to share that link with you. If you want later to be able to, you can go buy these right now in a variety of different colors. And they're actually really nice. They're like really well embroidered. They're only like 18 bucks.
Embroidery looks clean.
It's good. It's very good. So let's roll this again. Last one, last winner of the Cool Cats. Sold out. Cool Cats.
Sold out, by the way.
Sold cats. You can't buy them.
Hot
ticket item. You can buy them on OpenSea secondary market, but you can't buy them from the website. So let's roll it again. Last one. Last but not least, a cowboy name. A cowboy name.
A cowboy name. I was waiting for like what the
no, that's literally his name.
I hope they get a cowboy.
That would
Cool
be dope.
cat. That would be so perfect.
That would be great.
Are they in chat?
I believe. Well, they would have had to have been in chat to type Cool Cats. But a cowboy name, you are going to need to give me in Twitch, Twitter, or Discord DM your ETH address. So again, I'm not going to chase you down. So let's go. He is here.
Oh, there. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go. That's the common refrain. So with that, we are going to let you guys go. If you guys decide like you're doing something else and you're like, hey, we need to talk about it and chop it up with people so we get out of our echo chamber.
We know where to find you.
You know where to find me. And we'll do something with the Cool Cats.
You know what I'm saying? We're all cut from the same some joke about a cat that I'm too brain fried to think of.
Yeah.
It was funny.
We're all part of the same litter.
There it is. Damn it.
There it is. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Well, thank you guys very much for having me.
Thank you. Yeah, and thank you so much for that like thoughtful backstory. I think a lot of people I saw in the chat, and I hope you were watching as well. Like a lot of people really appreciated the thoughtfulness that went into this, and it seems different, which is cool. So I'm really happy that you guys joined us. I'm sure we'll have more questions later on, but for anybody else, like Cool Cats NFT on Twitter, coolcatsnft.com, and support the project.
Dude, thank you
Cool.
so much for having us.
No
See
problem.
you guys on the blockchain. Take it easy.
Yeah, see you
Sounds
around.
good. All right, later.
See you guys. Dude, that's awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I love that they integrated kind of the rarity into the NFT itself. Like, not having to go to another tool for that is just, that's great.
I completely agree. I'm going to grab a beer or 3 and I will be right back. Everybody should do the same. And then we will get to the NFT potpourri wheel of conversation.
After a brief
ready.
intermission.
After a brief intermission. Should we play the video?
Yeah, see if you can get beers and come back in time. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. I don't care. I don't care. Audience sympathy. Don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry.
And he's back.
There he
Look at
is.
that.
Like a glove.
I'm totally going to
thoughts?
buy one of those.
Yeah. So let me look
Yeah.
really quick. I'm gonna share my screen again. Let's go look at OpenSea. For
I was
like,
looking.
where are we at?
I feel
with
like
this?
I need one too.
Yeah. So for anybody that I'm gonna look at this. Hopefully they get verified. The backstory on the art stuff. I read a little bit of it because they had a Medium post and like I looked at his Instagram and just sort of very surface level stuff. But I really appreciated hearing about it. I feel more connected to this now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So where are we at? Recently listed. Oh, that one's kind of cool. So the newly minted ones, a lot of these didn't have the like metadata refreshed. You can't see them right away, but let's look at view all the recent sales. Okay. So one of the upside down ones is got a bit of an ETH. That's on auction. Where's the ones that are for sale? Oh, here we go. And then let's kind of, a lot of these, the metadata needs to refresh first.
So is that just people like blindly listing them? Like they just need
Yeah,
to
it looks
refresh
like just,
it, and there's
yeah. So yeah, they're blindly listing their piece and you've got to like do the little refresh metadata because they never did it for themselves. So you could buy that one. You don't know what, I guess, if you went on the website, you could probably figure out like 9718 is correspondent to this. I think you can look it up. Can you?
probably should have done this when they're still on the stream.
What's that?
We probably should have done this while they were still on the stream.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you can.
So
So
one
I
over
don't
there
have
on the right. Look at that guy.
Yeah,
this
that
guy.
was dope.
He looks like he's a
Handlebar
Beatles
mustache.
guy. It's like from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Band. That's actually
It's a
like
good look.
pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
People are blind buying. Oh man. Yeah, there's some good ones in here. I'm sure it'll end up on rarity tools as well. These TV ones are cool as well. I like those.
I mean, you almost
Yeah,
don't
there's
need
some
it,
cool
right?
stuff.
Because you know when you buy it.
The rarity tools. But I mean,
because
for
isn't
the card on the website will look at, or like it shows you what the rarity is or whatever. And it's like, here's how many traits there are or whatever.
Oh, gotcha. But it doesn't break down within each of those categories. Like within exotic, you know how
Right.
rare
Like
is-
how many
is
people have a
Gotcha.
captain's hat or whatever. Only that there's 500 exotic ones, but these, I don't think they show that like, oh, this is an exotic 9 on OpenSea. I don't think.
Gotcha.
Would I be
Okay.
wrong? Am I wrong? Yeah, it's just the picture. So you sort of have to see. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you can see the rarity and the properties here. So I'm sure it'll end up on the rarity tools website pretty quickly about all of that. But yeah, these are cool, man. So hey, happy I got those. You guys ready to talk about some other stuff before we jump into the wheel? Is there anything that you like absolutely want to get to? I know Taylor, you wrote your article this week. I liked it. Your ideas about TopShot, utility stuff and some other things. You want to start there, and then once we're done with that, we can kind of dive into the other stuff.
Yeah, we can run through them quick because there's 3 of them. But let's do that, and then we can spin the wheel.
Sounds good.
Cool. I wrote this pretty late. I'm trying to remember the 3 ideas. So real quick, the 3 ideas. The first one was burning challenge moments, which in short, I think would be cool because there's this level of like unknown. Like we don't know of the 6,000 people eligible. Are we going to have 50 people burn them? 6,500? Like no one really knows, which I think would add a cool element where you don't know the mint size and you're sort of basing it off of gut or what's happened before. And I think that would be interesting. And then also making the required moments scarce, which is pretty cool, right? Like it might help with the whole nosedive after the challenge ends. And there's another strategy of like, I'm not doing the challenge, but I'm going to pick up the moments and hope that they become really scarce at the end of the day. I just think it makes it more interesting. And like, there's different strategies going on. It's not just like the entire TopShot community being like, should we do this challenge? Yes. Oh, no longer. Don't do it anymore. It's going to be too large of a mint size. Like, don't do it. So I think it just makes it a lot more interesting. I don't know what you guys think there. I know, Greg, you have some thoughts from.
Yeah, I mean, I just love this idea.
Challenge moments. You can do it multiple times, right?
Yeah. So I really like burning moments, especially in tops. The difference with tops is you burn as you go. So if you complete a challenge, you can burn and get your reward right away, and the rewards come in packs. And once you have that pack, I mean, you can go through and buy again. You can buy as many times and burn as many times as you want to get as many reward packs as you want, just based on how much you're willing to spend. And I think that's really interesting. I like the kind of instant gratification part of that. I don't know if I'm a millennial in that sense, but I like being able to complete it and get it right away. And then I also like being able to get the reward and sell it if I want to in order to kind of do it again to maybe play the serial lottery. So yeah, I think burning would add, I mean, some intrigue back into the challenges that like you mentioned is missing. So I hope they're looking at that. Maybe we'll see that sometime down the line.
I think it'd be cool.
I just think that, looking at some of the other NFT projects out there that have interesting like mechanics. And I think Roham wrote a tweet about this today. It was like, what's the most interesting NFT utility thing that you care about? And one of the options is like burning, staking stuff, right? It's like Punk's comics. Like you have a choice to make. You got things to, it's not just the tops example, but like, okay, I'm going to burn one to make this more rare. I'm going to stake one so that other people can use it, or that it's like part of this pool that, we lock in and I can, I'm committing to holding it for longer periods of time or whatever it was. But those types of things are intriguing to me generally. So what was the second one?
Let's see. Second one was TopShot buyback program. In short, I don't know if you guys did this as kids, but I collected baseball cards and I'd go back to the store with the ones I don't want, sort of like you go to GameStop, sell your video games you don't want, and they'd give you some price for them. It would be like cash in my pocket, and then they'd package random or like somewhat random of those trade-ins and they put them in mystery packs and you'd buy it. And that was really fun. And I was thinking, like, why couldn't TopShot do this? It's the reason they can't do it is realistic. Like, they have to figure out a way to value every single moment down to the serial number, which is daunting. But if they were able to do it, it could open up some cool aspects where if I want to get liquid right now, I can just sell everything to TopShot right now. They have plenty of capital. Like they have a decent amount of capital from selling packs and taking their 5%. I can get liquid very fast. I can do something with it. And it helps stay away from undercutting, where if they're establishing sort of a floor and they're saying this moment is $70, why would anyone list it for lower when they know that holders would be able to get 75 from TopShot? There are some parts that are bad with it, right? Like if they ever lowered the valuation of a moment, they probably catch heat from the entire community being like, wait, it was $70 yesterday. Why is it 60 today? But imagine if they just had a fixed price for those packs and it was truly random what you got from those pools, and you pull a legendary that someone sold really fast because they just needed capital right away. I think it'd be super fun. I would totally buy like 10 of those packs and open them on the stream every single time.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that it seems a very similar concept to what they're talking about doing with the trade ticket concept. But the problem with the trade ticket concept is that the trade tickets are all going to be shit, right? Like it's all crap. Because it doesn't make sense financially for that to be anything other than crap. So yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it. I think it probably, to your point about like valuation down to the serial level, not feasible. They wouldn't do it. I think they would set a floor at here's the moment, and that's what it would be. And like, if you value the serial number because you think it's more important, then that's your choice. You can keep it, but like, we're not going to give you more because you have a number 12 versus a 12,000. Like this is the floor of what you're going to get. So, and that's part of the liquidity battle with all this as well. With a lot of people that are like, they're sitting on things and they're not willing to sell it at the floor because they think it's worth more, even though like they couldn't move it if they wanted to, because guess what? There's very few people right now scouring the marketplace for like just higher end moments in these like middling ranges. I think that's another big piece of this too, is that like, part of this is the websites that are out there for fair market value and whatnot. But like, if you got a number 72 throwdown, like, who fucking cares? Like, it's not a number 1. It's not the jersey number. Like, cool. It's a 2-digit one. It's the same as 498 to me. And I know some people are like, oh, it's different. Like, no, fuck off. Like, it's the base. So anyway, but that's really interesting. So third one, let's talk about the leasing moments thing, because I love this idea.
This one's really fun. It started out as like a silly idea of there's all these NFT displays, and I was like, do you think we'll ever get to the point where it's cool to show off an NFT at like your house? And would it be cool enough to be like, hey, I'm going to rent one of MBL's Cosmics because I want to show it off at my house and I just want to look at it. Maybe I just want to see it in my account and take a screenshot, even though I know it's really not mine. Sort of like you have a friend with a sick car and you're like, I just want to get a picture in it. Like, can I just do that? So initially that was the idea, just from like a cool standpoint. Yeah, like Chugs. Yeah. And then I started thinking that there actually could be real utility to it, where maybe it's qualifying for a drop and you're like, hey, I need a Series 1 Bucks legendary moment. I'm going to go rent it from someone. And if there's a mechanism where you can set a duration, like you can rent it for a day by the day for $50 a day or whatever it is, it opens up some cool opportunities there for like qualifying for drops, completing challenges, or even when you think about the DFS stuff, where if you're like, my lineup is these 5 guys, not based on who is in my account, but based on just pure who I think is going to be the winning lineup today. And you can go rent some legendaries or rares for those players, so you have a better shot at winning a daily contest, which, if I had to guess, are going to keep becoming more popular. I think it's just a really fun idea. And I imagine for some folks, like, some folks that have huge accounts that are seeing essentially their account valuations go down, if they could get some capital back by renting them out to people, I think they'd be all for it. And sure, give TopShot their 5% cut. Go for it.
Yeah. I think the real use case for this, though, is challenges. Like, I mean, I would never display something that I was borrowing. I like the idea and the thought process there. But like, I would never, like, oh, hey, check out. It's like that one dude, I forget his name. He's like, he promoted the Twitter ads of him like, I bought a $208,000 moment. Like, who are you showing that to? Like, you're gonna put a price tag next to it too. Anyway, but beside the point with that, I think right now, so one of the really cool things about the Cool Cats Discord, side note, Cool Cats TopShot Discord, right now we are collaborating. There's a couple groups groups going in together for Hollow Icon challenges. And there's at least one group, they're trying to set up a second one for Luca, of people that like we all have established to some degree some trust, because we've been in TopShot a long time. A lot of people know each other. There's like mutually assured destruction in a lot of ways, because you're fucking out if you rugged anybody. And you put some structure around these things where, I know a lot of people like me, like we had a bunch of friends that we brought into this stuff and they've sort of gone by the wayside in many cases. So like, you can't really collaborate on challenges all that effectively anymore because of the gifting rules and restrictions on it. But if you can figure out a way to safely ensure that can happen for people that are like internet adjacent, but not like trust and like you don't want to assume trust. Like we will build programmatic trust.
Right.
That would be really helpful for this type of stuff. When I got into TopShot in January, and I know that we all got in like the same week, I think. Like Greg, what date do you remember? Was your account created?
I think it's January 18th.
Okay. And then Taylor, you were
the 23rd or something like that.
Okay. I was January 20th. Chugs was January 15th. So we all like within the same week got into TopShot. And within that week in the first Cool Cat drop, like you were still able to do that. And they shut for good reason, right? Or at least on the surface at the time, good reason, shut down that collaboration element because of all the challenges with multi-accounting and just like really shady shit that was going down that like delegitimized a very useful collecting mechanic, which was to work together on something, right? And working together on something is a lot of fucking fun. Like there's a bunch of NFT projects out there that like and I'm Chugs, if he's watching, he's gonna like shit himself that I'm actually praising it. But like the Pirate Treasure Booty Company or whatever the fuck it's called, like working together and stacking the things that you have individually to like collaborate on something different is like fun. It's super fun. And it's super it amplifies some of the network effects that made TopShot super fun at the beginning when we were all here. And that it also is part of the reason why it's so isolating now is that you're on your own. Like, and I've been thinking about that a lot this week as this stuff in the Cool Cats Discord has sort of taken off, that like, oh, hey, there's 9 people. I pulled a Devin Booker. There's no way that I'm going to be able to afford 8 other hollow icon moments. But like, if the other 8 people can lend me them and I can hold the reward and then send back all the moments, and then we'll take a vote on, if you want to get liquid, someone either buys you out or we sell the NFT, we sell the hollow icon moment for Embiid that's going to come up, and we liquidate and we pay out the individual portions of who came to what at what percentage and all that. Like there's ways to do that. And like, we're all smart enough to do it on a spreadsheet, but it takes a lot of trust. So I offered to be the one that held the moments because I have the most to lose if I fucked anybody over, which seemed to be a really well received idea. So I'm like, I can be publicly flogged, I think, and like hung, drawn, and quartered. There's a lot of like internet anonymous people that can't be, but
you're not safe. You're not safe from a newsletter article if you pull a fast one.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right. Anything else on the minted moment stuff? It was a great article, by the way.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
Awesome.
It was a bit of a test. It was a bit of a test to be like, can I write an article that does 0 data analysis whatsoever?
You can. What are the numbers look like? How are we doing? What are the page views? What do the page views look like?
Doing pretty well. It's pretty like on par with the rest. It's not quite the spill in the TopShot tea, but it's good. That's
cool. Congratulations, both of you, by the way, for making the community TopShot list.
Thank you.
On Twitter.
Thank you.
It's a proud honor.
Yeah, I know. Greg, what have you been working on? I feel like I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
I haven't done anything TopShot related in a while, so I think I'm going to get back into it maybe next week. I've been looking at some of the challenge reward stuff, kind of piggybacking on some stuff that Taylor did. I think you did some challenge reward was the last newsletter before this one, right? So I'm going to do something related to that probably coming up over the weekend, and looking forward to getting that out.
That was cool.
Awesome.
I saw a preview of at least something that you were teasing out, and I was very excited about it. I wanted to talk about it tonight, but we won't. I'll save it. So on that, I agree. It's great to see that Greg is no longer being held hostage.
They've given him Windows lights.
Give me Windows. Yeah. It's really just because it's too hot in here.
So
got to crack the windows.
Do we care to talk about basketball at all? Is there a game on right now? Who's winning?
There is. I haven't even looked.
We're kind of fortunate that we're competing with Bucks, Hawks with no Trae Young or Giannis. Kind of not competing with some super interesting basketball.
Bucks up 15 with 6 minutes to go. That's good to know. Okay, so they're definitely going to win that. Which means, what is that? 3-2? Were they tied? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it'll be 3-2 going back to they'll go back
going to Atlanta.
Yeah. And then they'll come back to if they needed it. Anyway, remember when I was telling you about that, like sort of the fantasy thing that I did do with the guys where you like pick 6 players per round, can't pick the same ones over and over again. My team sucks. I forgot to submit my round 3 picks before the Suns and the Clippers tipped off. So I had to use entirely Hawks and Bucks players.
Not great.
But I had already used Giannis and Chris Middleton because I thought they were going to lose to Brooklyn. So I literally had like all the way down, and I'd already used Trae Young in the first round. So it just the bootiest round 3 of all time. Like I had no Clippers, I had no Suns, and I had 5 Hawks that weren't Trae Young or Clint Capella. So anyway, I'm like way in last place on that one. And I'm not.
Can you give everyone a quick rundown on how that works? I thought it was a super fun concept. If you can get everyone the like 60-second pick.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. I actually, actually, I don't think I can. Anyway, so the idea is that you pick 6 players per round across all of the teams, and you can't pick that player again. Round 1, 2, 3, or 4. So in the first round, like the idea is you want to pick the players that will essentially score the most cumulative stats. So points, steals, rebounds, assists, blocks, I think are the 5. You want the most in series that they're going to lose because you don't want their team to advance because then you can't use them in the next round. So like Luka round 1 was a great pick. It was the best pick because he had 7-game series and lost. And he scored a shit ton of points, right? So I worked backwards, and I was like, "Oh, the Lakers are going to go all the way to the finals, as are the Nets." So I set up my choices in round 1 based on that fact. So I picked Booker, and I picked, I think I picked Trae Young because I picked the Knicks to go to the next round, and all these things. And then the round 2 is really where I got fucked because I was expecting Brooklyn to advance, and I was also expecting the Nuggets. Yeah, maybe. I don't even remember. Anyway, but the idea is like you run out of players. So if you get to the finals, like in a perfect world, you have the top 3 players from each team in the finals available to use. So in this case, you would want Booker, CP3, and Ayton, and probably Giannis, Middleton, and Drew Holiday probably are the 3. So like if the Bucks, assuming the Bucks made the finals, if it's Atlanta, you'd want Trae, Capella, and is it Bogdan? Or it's either Bogdan or like John Collins or one of those other guys as their best third. So you'd want the top 3. So you have to hold those guys, not pick them for those 3 rounds, or else you're going to end up like I'm going to be in a spot for the next round where I'm literally playing like Jay Crowder and Cam Payne and like Bryn Forbes. No, I already used Horder. Like I had to use because I fucked up this round. Brooke Lopez. I think I already used Brooke Lopez too. So anyway, long story short, I would be in really, really bad shape. And I don't know, I am in really bad shape. I think I'd have 5 Suns and a Buck because the Bucks after their first 4 guys are just trash. Like there's nobody there. So anyway.
So is anybody doing well?
Yeah. Like there's a couple guys that have done like decently well. Gotcha. But yeah, I don't know. It's not a great one. We do have Fantasy Olympics coming up, which I'm very excited about. And guess what? We're right in the middle. I don't know for all of you out there that follow me for my Top Shot takes, and you're confused as fuck while you're seeing Tour de France highlights. It's because we do Fantasy Tour de France, which is fucking awesome, and I love it. So let me show you my Fantasy Tour de France team, because this is the content you guys all came here for. I scored 509 points today. From my lovely team. Is my Burn All You Bitches is my team name. That's Peter Sagan. Bernal is not riding in the Tour de France this year on Team Ineos. But yeah, I had Pogacar and Sagan today. Mark Cavendish won his second stage of the Tour de France today. He is 36 years old. He had previously not won a Tour de France stage since 2016 and won one again today. 2 in the last 3 stages, is 2 away from the most ever, which is exciting. So it is possible that he will break the record or at least tie it. So thank you. Next, correct. He will. I know that you guys aren't here for Tour de France stakes, but you should definitely consider getting in on Fantasy Tour de France next year because it's super fun. And the best part about it is if you're on the, if you're in Central or Eastern time, like the race starts, like each of the stages start at like 6:30 in the morning, and they're like 4 hours long. So they finish at like 10:30. And so like, if you can break away for that 15 minutes as they're like finishing, it's super fun. You like, oh, I'm going to chime in really quick and like watch the last 5 kilometers, and it's just chaos. And then you can just go back to your day. Like it's all done by 11 o'clock. It's awesome. And then you do it all again the next day. So I know that this is what you came here for. But let's actually go to the wheel and talk about some other stuff. What should we set our time limit at? What do you want to do? You know, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes per? Shut up, Amphex. Yeah. Suck it.
You know, some of these I don't know what they are, but maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
All right, here we go.
There.
What the hell are sewer rats? Don't let it land on sewer rats.
Great question. We're going to find out together.
Is it fucking sewer rats?
Okay. No.
Nice. Kyrie MGLE 31. All right. So let us open up on the Moment NFT. Look at Kyrie MGLE challenge 31. See where we're at. Are you guys following this at all?
I know as much about this as I do about sewer rats. So
nothing.
No, nothing.
So Greg, do you know anything about this? Do I just have to wax?
No, it's going to be you waxing.
This is all on you.
It's all on me. Okay, great. 5 minutes. All right. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes starting now.
Okay, here we go. I don't need 5 minutes to talk about this. This is one of the last few MGLE challenges in Series 2. Kyrie is the reward. Not a very sexy reward, but it is, relatively speaking, compared to some other the ones, cost prohibitive because of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is the number 1 MGLE in terms of cost outside of, or no, across Series 2 entirely, I think, other than some of the challenge rewards that have been minted lower. So all of the ones that are minted to 499 that came out of packs, I'm pretty sure Durant is the highest. I think when we 2 weeks ago, when we opened our packs, Kevin Durant started. I think how many people cracked a Durant? It was like 1 or 2, right? I think G-Shot did, and then
I think we got 2.
Yeah, I think we got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, like right out of the packs, it was like $2,000. It has since climbed down, and most of this, I think this like 449 came from like 2,000 of it was Durant. I think Halliburton at that point when I cracked it was like, I don't know, 600, something like that. So with this, they're on the Moment ran I love their challenge reward stuff and their analysis. Justin does a great job with it. And is generally pretty on. He wrote the reward stuff when it was up around here initially. And I saw in the last couple of days, he updated it. And it was a very like, oh man, like things have dropped so significantly. And I think the last update that he put out there was that like, this was, if you bought all of the moments at cost, given how many challenges were going to be completed sort of in that 150 to 180 range, this was actually a plus EV challenge, which is really interesting. Yeah, it was. And a big part of that is that the 3 biggest pieces were, relatively speaking, going to hold more value than some of the other challenges in the past. So I don't think and I don't think as either, like that these will fall as precipitously as some of the other pieces that are propped up for it. And yes, as well, correct on this one. Price dipping happened. We knew the required moments when they released the LeBron challenge. Yep. So it sort of separated, right? So there were things that like were, hey, is this going to be in the LeBron? Is this not? And then everything separated out. So with this, I cracked, you won't remember because there was hundreds or like almost 100 moments that we cracked that night. I cracked in my pack Tyrese Halliburton and Jordan Clarkson. I also cracked Darius Garland in my premium pack that I got. So I had 3 of these pieces. And I posted the other night. When this happened, like when they announced the challenge for this, the pieces spiked very shortly. The wall ran up and then immediately crashed, like significantly, very, very significantly. And it was very bizarre. And I was like, fuck, like, okay, great. Like, I guess I could try and sell them, but I missed the boat on it. So I started DMing people, and again, this is a function, and I'm privileged in this regard, a function of like being like a visible person that like I would be fucked if I rugged anybody. But like, if you ask people that trust you, like, hey, are you going to use that? Can I borrow it? Like, a lot of them are nice and will say yes. And I completed this challenge.
Wow.
Without, so I now have all 9 pieces. 6 of them I have gotten on loan. I am going to send all 6 of those back. So big ups to everybody that helped me out with this to complete this. And if I'm gonna, probably kick some things back just to be nice and say thank you and be generous with time and effort and all that stuff. But now I have a 1 in, I don't know, it's going to end tomorrow, 15 hours, like 1 in 2, 0.05 chance of, or 0.5% chance of getting, or, 1% chance of a jersey number or number 1. So, just from like being nice and chasing down and knocking on doors. So, not everybody has that luxury. I will admit that freely that like, I do know a lot of people that have access to this stuff and are willing to share and all those things. So it's not possible for everybody to do that. But, I was driven and motivated to try and do it.
Last thing, timer's going off. I think the cool part about that, I don't think it's selfish. The cool part is you got like 6 other people involved in this challenge that otherwise would just be sitting it out. So I think more people doing this opens the door where like now you have exponential people that are having their hand in the challenge and in it.
Yeah. And I think my last thought here is in my thought process too, like what I did, I literally went to, oh man, is he cutting out bad for everybody else?
That's super bad. Yeah.
Okay. It's not just me. Crazy bad. Must be those sighting people. But when I was like, how do I find these people? Right. How do and I was really thoughtful about it. I think I went into all of the listings, not listings, excuse me. I went into all of the, like who owns everything. And I started at the top, the circulation thing. And I started at the top for all of them that were not listed for sale in like high serial number ranges. So like the first 50. And I was like clicking, and this is part of the reason why I was like on Twitter, hey, put your link your Twitter in your Discord because people might reach out to you for this stuff. Like I was going through and like, oh, hey, this person has the number 12 or the number 15. It is very unlikely that they're going to sell this to try and take advantage of challenge utility. Like, let me ask, are you doing anything with it? So like, if I literally would click each one and like, if they had their Twitter or Discord link and I recognized a name or that they followed me or I followed them or whatever, I would like reach out and DM and ask them. So, I mean, it took a little bit of legwork to do it all, but like, there's a lot of that type of situation where you have a component piece with a really high serial number that you're not just going to sell to like try and take advantage of the thing that like, if you could lease it out using this function that he had in a trustful way, it's not the right word, but like that would be so much more helpful so that you don't have to rely on like my assured destruction if I rubbed someone, right? Like that's the only reason that I can do this is because I'm like visible. If you were just like an anonymous person, you probably couldn't do it. Anyway. All right, next topic. Let's talk about something different. And then once Taylor hops back in, we'll get this. I just put in all of the random NFT stuff that I could find. All right.
Oh man.
Do you know anything about Bulls on the Block?
Other than the fact that didn't it get pushed back a bit because there was like a gas problem? I was planning on minting, and then I saw that it get pushed back, and then life took over, and I wasn't able to mint. So, what do you know what happened with that? I did not get any backstory.
I don't know much about it. I know that it flopped, at least out of the gate, and not to say that it will be flopped forever, but yeah, I think it was a function of like there were a handful of different projects all happening simultaneously, and it just turned into a big fucking gas war. So it was really hyped. I know a lot of people in the various discords that I was in were like actually pretty jacked about Bulls on the Block. They thought the art was cool and all of that. It's hard for me to get, even with the Cool Cat stuff earlier, it's hard for me to like wrap my head around, okay, another 10,000 generative mint, all these different things. But a lot of people liked them. So that was cool. Taylor, any thoughts on Bulls on the Block? Do you know anything about it? We're stumbling through it.
I saw it. I'm very fatigued with these 10K avatar projects. Hearing the cool cat stuff, I'm like, this is sick. I like this. There's a cool story. They all look amazing. It's not a cash grab.
Yeah. Man, your internet is shitty today, man. It's not me.
Fuck.
It's okay though. All right. Anything else? Anybody in the chat? Anybody have thoughts about Bulls on the Block? I know that Pseudo Games just been shitting on everything tonight, but anybody else have thoughts on Bulls on the Block? Wales dominated Bulls on the Block. Gas was insane. WJR. Warren Watson, how are you, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I feel like you took a break. Hopefully you got some good R&R. It's good to see you. It's not cool cats. I agree. All right, let's spin this wheel again. What else are we going to talk about? All right. Bored Ape Kennel Club. This happened while I was on vacation in Florida on Friday. All the Bored Ape Kennel pups got dropped into wallets. Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
4 minutes and 50 seconds counting down.
So Greg, you are an
Yes.
ape owner. Taylor, you are not an ape owner.
Correct.
Greg, did you get a dog?
I did get a dog. I got a dog with a hermit crab on top of its head, and I think that was like the only trait it had was the hermit crab.
That's literally all it is. Do you have it somewhere? Is it like on your Twitter?
Yeah, I don't think I put it on my Twitter, but if you want to go to OpenSea, I have it there. You just look me up. Yeah, it's gonna be Akeem the Dream probably.
Look at that. So this is your dog.
That is my dog. Okay, so it has the drool and the anime eyes, but I mean the only thing you're seeing there other than a dog for the most part is the hermit crab.
Right.
So
a little bit of drool. Yeah, sort of like
a little bit of drool.
Not particularly sexy in the grand scheme of things.
It's not a sexy dog. Yeah.
So what are your plans with your dog?
You know, I don't know. I think Taylor and I are going to split ownership of this guy.
Okay.
So we're going to decide as a team 50. What we're going to do with this guy.
Okay. That's right. Yeah. And so you guys are a team on this one, and then Chugs and I have my dog, or our dog, I'll say. And ours was equally kind of like blah in the grand scheme of things. Which is kind of funny, but this is ours. So it's got a rat on its head, and
say what you will though, the rat is pretty cool.
Yeah, give a little zoom on the rat.
Yeah. Zoom on the rat. The rat has like 6 sunglasses, and it looks like there might be a blunt in its mouth.
It's a cigarette. It's a marijuana cigarette. So funny. So I will say I do like the shoes, or the slippers, I should say, and the connection to like the red slippers, and we have a red hat, or I have a red hat ape. So that's kind of cool. So a little bit of like merch symbiosis there. I think they've mentioned, the Bored Ape Yacht Club has mentioned that they're going to do some level of future drops for ape dog owners together. But a reminder for anybody that isn't in this, like they actually raised, and like from the sale of this stuff had like sent a shit ton of money to like animal rescue groups. Like it was a charitable component. So and for anybody that didn't know, like they just airdropped, if you owned an ape, and you clicked and you paid gas, I think, like to adopt your dog basically. Did you even have to pay gas, or was it just like that you needed to make a claim for it? I forget.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think whatever it was, you like went in and clicked claim. And I think like 9,500 of them got claimed out of the 10,000 apes or whatever. So it was really cool. So Bored Ape Yacht Club. I'm going to pull up that, in the last minute that we've got 56 seconds. Bored Ape Yacht Club. I do want to pull up, like, I thought that was cool that they did the 55 ETH charity, right? So that's what it was. Regarding utility, got some fun things planned for people who own both an ape and a dog. They'll be featured heavily in the narrative for Roadmap 2.0. Here we go. All proceeds from secondary sales on OpenSea will be going directly to the charity for the first 6 weeks, and then we'll be removing it from commission altogether. So like it's not they're not even profiting from this, which is awesome. And so they've given 55 ETH, 100 grand to charity, just like NFT stuff. So Bored Ape right now is sort of killing it in terms of the like utility game that a lot of people are playing. Bucks win. Cool, Mullet Man. Thank you for the update. All right, we're about to hit our time here. Let's shift gears and talk about something else. Did we remove it from the wheel? We did, I believe. Nice. We'll repeat it. What are we going to talk about next?
No. Do we have to? Can we skip?
Pass. The reverse card.
I feel like we have to, right? Like you have to address it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Not great all around.
Not great all around. But thoughts on their response?
I didn't see it. So if you saw it, can you give us an idea? I mean, I think I may have seen it briefly, but what exactly did they follow up with?
Yeah, so let me look. They essentially bought back all of the questionable ones or would offered to buy back essentially, and donated over 80 ETH to Rain, which is apparently a very worthwhile organization that deals with what is it? Here, it's down here somewhere. Yeah, so this was basically the response. Go ahead.
Okay. So do you not see an issue with that buyback process, with them buying those back? If people want to keep the ones, if people don't want to sell them, essentially, they become more scarce in the sense that
I do see a massive issue with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things where listening to our guys that just came on, Cool Cats guys, they had a generative project that had a bunch of different traits in it, and they minted and test minted and test minted and test minted and test minted all of these things. I find it exceptionally hard, I find it difficult, I should say. I find it exceptionally difficult to believe that they didn't know that some combination of that was going to come up in some way, shape, or form. it's like based on the statistic, like the probability of a given trait, like coming up there. It's not like they could have, oh, hey, these combinations didn't come up in our testing. Fuck off. Like garbage in, garbage out. I think Steve had the best tweet about it. It was like, yeah, computers can put dumb shit together, but you have to put dumb shit into the computer first. So anyway, I think it's too little too late on that. It sounds like, I know that most of our audience is sort of not in on it, but yeah, I think that was one of those ones that like you fuck up that type of thing and like you're just done. There's just nowhere up because it's got stink all over it. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on Misfit U? I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, good for them for donating the money. But yeah, I'm happy to let that project die.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's the last time we'll ever bring it up on stream on purpose. If it's a good callback, we might bring it up. Like there's a black eye on this project, and then we'll be like, oh, but it's not Misfit U. I might make a joke about it later. All right, let's go. All right. Luca Hollow Icon Challenge. This applies to 40 people. Or 38 people, as the case may be. This is another one of the ones where it may be close to plus EV because of if it's not already, because of three of the 9 being rookies. So I think most of the like base of Hollow Icon as a whole for like all moments that have already burned their utility is in that 700, 800 range, if I'm not mistaken. So let's pull open that set and sort of look at this. And you guys did not get Hollow Icon pack, right? Am I remembering that correctly? No? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. All right. Yeah, so 719 is the floor here. So, you're looking at a dip on some of these, the Brogdon's going to end up down there. Right. So a couple of these will end up down there. But I don't see like, yes, Sadiq Bey is going to end up in, probably $400 or $500 down, but the Luca on the other end of it is pretty massive. So, having one of those is really sexy, to be quite honest. So again, I was mentioning this before, but Cool Cats, there's a group of at least one team that's putting those together for one of those as a whole. But I think a second one is coming up. I would expect that this ends up somewhere in the like 50 to 55 range, to be quite honest. The Hollow Icon is sort of, yes, hold on. Yes, maybe like 50. Let me show you why. So I was looking at Hollow Icon 6 and 7, sort of just like get a sense for how did things behave close to the deadline. And KD, so Luca and KD, I mean, would you say that they're on par with one another? Would you say KD is more valuable than a Luca because he doesn't have another legendary?
Probably.
Right. So like there's Luca had a handful from S1. So there's like diminished value relative to that. But there was a massive spike in the last like run up to the challenge ending. It was like in the last 12 hours, it went from, I think it was like 48 to like 60. So like 12 people completed the KD right at the end. So, and actually I think the Luca, if I'm not mistaken, we can actually see on this one how many people are close, because they have got the challenge analysis on this as well. And again, this ends tomorrow, for like how many people have 7 or 8. So there's 4. So there's at least 4 that are right there, right?
Does it have it
one
in the
away.
chart right above?
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. So 6 more. So probably, actually, you're right. It probably won't get to 50. So like it'll be 45. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, if you assume, if you got 5 and 9, how many of these people? Yeah, and these are all bullshit. So like they're waiting. They're playing chicken with these people. So everybody 5 and above is going to finish. So that's what, 6, 10, 12. Yeah, it's 50. So you're looking at 50. Which is cool. I mean, that's like a cosmic level moment in terms of scarcity, if not cachet. All right. That's enough because none of us are going to finish it. All right. We're getting down here. Let's spin again. Hopefully we don't hit sewer rats because I have no idea what the fuck they are.
Do any of us know what it is?
I don't know.
I've seen pictures. Other than that, no.
I was told to add this by someone. I do not own a gutter cat. Do you guys own gutter cats?
No.
I thought you owned a gutter cat, Taylor.
I wanted to, and then it started skyrocketing, and I chickened out.
So this one shot up like massively today or yesterday. It went like above an ETH, if I'm not mistaken. Anybody know what the current floor on this is? How do I find that?
You can see it on OpenSea.
Is that like the easiest way to do it?
Or it might be on Evaluate, to be honest. I think it's on Evaluate now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Shout out to the Evaluate.market guys. They are killing it, adding all these different NFTs to their platform.
1.15 is the floor.
Holy shit.
And I
That was like 0.3.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
So if you guys didn't know, Evaluate.market, friends of the program. How do I find out like what the floor is on this? So lots of transactions. Lots here. So again, minted, however long ago. But lots and lots of volume in the last couple of days. So you can't see the floor on this though. Right?
Is there do they have any other like in the upper panel? I haven't used it yet for any other NFTs. What about the analyze? What's in there?
Let's look. Or market. For Gutter Cat Gang. Lowest ask. Total lowest ask. Okay. So it's trying to pick up by trait. It'd be cool. Feedback for Evaluate.market would be really cool to see lowest ask at an individual level on that one. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I think you have to look for some specific traits or something like that. Anyway, I don't know how to do this. But Gutter Cat Gang, 1.3 or whatever it is the current floor. So we're going to say all items. We're going to say sort by price, low to high. Bids, price. Yeah, 1.15. You could buy this guy. Taylor, you could buy the Trump Hawaiian shirt. The Trump cat. Got to go to buy now.
For
okay.
Southern California.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for all the people that are in the chat because I don't know. I don't buy things on OpenSea very often, if you can't tell. What are your thoughts, Jenner? So you like the cats though?
A cat guy. So of course I liked them. I thought they were cool. One of them looks exactly like my cat. So
really,
I thought about getting one. Yeah, let me pull up a picture. Hold on. No, fuck it.
I don't know if you want to show people.
He's gray and tabby. Don't worry about it. He looks like a cat.
What's his name?
Joe.
Joe?
Yeah, he named after Joe Exotic, of course. We got him during peak pandemic.
Yeah, there's some people that are super into the cats. Not me. I don't care about the cats. Gotta tell you. I don't know why though. I feel like I should be. Oh, there's Joe. That's
yeah,
cutie.
Good boy.
Cutie patootie. All right. Hide that one. We're going to the next. I think we're gonna get through all these. We doxed your cat. All right. Playoff challenges on TopShot. Are you guys going after any playoff challenges?
No.
Believe it or not, no.
Hard pass. It's so lame. No. My only thoughts on the playoff challenges for TopShot is generally related to playoff moments and thought process here. I don't know that people like. I like that they only minted them to 12,000. I think that's really smart. There's a lot of them, though. I feel like there's so many of them, and as a result, and as a sort of desire to get as many of these challenges out there as possible, there's just like fatigue with it. So I'm trying. I still get into every pack drop because that's like the funnest thing about TopShot, in my opinion. It's the lottery and the lottery ticket and the process of opening packs is super fun, right? Like we did our stream 2 weeks ago, and yes, it was cool because there was a ton of really expensive shit in it, but like the pack itself is cool to do the reveal. When I did my playoff pack last week while I was on vacation, I like queued up and sat there and it was fine. It was smooth and I cracked it and I was like, cool. I got a CP3 and I got a Devin Booker. I think, no, maybe something else. It was something else. I forget what it was. The CP3 was needed for the challenge going right now. And I was like, I can't be bothered. Like, I just, like, I don't, it felt seeing Starsy to me, like to some degree. It was like, oh, there's a lot of these and there's going to be a bunch of, like, there was only 2 challenges at that point, but there's a lot of these, there's a lot of challenges, but like, it just doesn't seem that interesting to do. But I think it is and that's just not, I can't be involved as much as I was in the past. I think if I came into TopShot now, I would be doing them. If I like was playing in that end of the pool and I had a ton of like liquidity. The fact that I don't have a bunch of liquidity, which means I'm broke, right? Like the fact that I am broke means like I'm not going to like outlay $150 for these moments. I would for some other stuff, but like I don't know why, but it just doesn't it doesn't tickle my fancy. So
yeah,
I haven't been doing them.
And it's kind of weird that they based on timing and number of moments they release, that the rewards now are for guys that got bounced last round.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how that got thought through and was like signed off on to be like, yep, let's have challenges for people that are no longer in the playoffs. Like no matter how cool the moment is, I guess maybe the KD is an exception. No matter how cool it is, it's like, they still lost though. Like, I don't know. That part's weird.
Yeah. It's natural for this, like, for people to lose interest in being as involved as they were. One of the things that's really interesting, I saw Roham tweet sort of the internal metrics that they have for like, and their focus being on new user activation, right? They call it activation. And it seems very incongruous with how some of the other sort of like more traditional or other NFT types of stuff out there work to some degree, but they prioritize and focus on how do we get and make the experience for someone brand new, not just like good, but great, so that we can get them to get 2 packs and sell 2 moments on the marketplace, right? That's their threshold. And I think, something like 80% of people that do those things within 7 days or whatever their metric is, it's like huge for them, which is part of the reason why they need to make packs available for everybody that are coming in. And they need to incentivize participating in the marketplace to some degree with those packs that you have, that you're getting moments from. But what that discounts is that there are a significant amount of people now that like are not interested in doing the things that you need to do as a new user to do those things, like to have that sticky experience, because they've already done some level of that before. So like, it's sort of like the site seems to be tailored towards more of that, which in some ways diminishes the experience for others. That said, and we sort of went back and forth about this in our private chat about their like the metrics that they were using for average like site visits in a day or something. It was like this, I don't know what it was, but it was like on the up and up. And we were trying to figure out like, is that for everybody? Or is that just people that activated or like that got onto the site? Like, cause it doesn't make sense that the average, like there's not 200,000 people accessing the site 8 times a day. Like there's less to do that now than there was before. Right. Like I'm not crazy about that. Or am I just jaded by what we're actually doing?
So was that the daily active users?
Yeah, I forget. It was Roham tweeted that one, right? He like it was way in a like deep buried in a thread somewhere that that he basically was responding to someone and say, oh, here it is, actually. They're in his media. That like, you know, when they look at monthly and daily sessions per user, it's like massively spiked, right? And this is a little bit of a misnomer because the vast majority of people sort of came in right here. And this is also colored by the fact that there's a lot more to do on TopShot than there was. But like the amount of the average daily sessions, like I know I personally use like I'm on the NBA TopShot website far less than I was daily. I mean, I was like, how many sessions I would have? 100 sessions in a day. Like that offsets pretty significantly if you got people just totally refreshing all the time. So I think it's probably like my thesis on this is that this is anybody that like logged into the website. So if there's 10,000 people that logged into the website, here's the average number of uses for those 10,000 people, not here's the average number of uses per account that exists.
Yeah.
So if you're going on the website, you're going on the website more than you were, or that you were at the time. And I think part of that may have to do with just like challenge timing, more things going on. Blogs, like there's a lot of like links that are pushing things to the website too. There's just more stuff there than there was. But anyway, I think Taylor's out, man. Taylor, I don't know what he's doing. So
it's his internet, man.
It's his internet. It's trash. It's trash. Taylor's
no, I agree though. Like anecdotally, I can speak to the fact that I'm spending less time on the site than I used to by like a significant amount. And I like that they're doing some things like the showcase quests that they've been putting out kind of daily or
cool.
every couple days. I think that kind of stuff's cool. But again, I don't see the rewards. I mean, there's not enough of them to make it interesting enough for me to like go out and try to complete everyone, you know?
Yeah, totally agree. So I am looking forward to the legendary pack for finals, like pack drops coming up. I will still line up every single time for pack drops. I love doing them. If interesting challenges that come up and I'm like well positioned for based on what I've pulled in packs, like I'm far more likely to try and attempt them. But I really wish they would get rid of the gifting restrictions for like known accounts. Yeah. Like if you've been KYC'd and you've withdrawn money and you and I want to trade, like I think that needs to go away. Yeah, I don't like that mechanic at all. I think if they took away the 7-day gifting restriction tomorrow for anybody that's KYC'd, what would happen? I think a lot.
Crazy. Yeah.
I think a lot would happen. I think a lot, like especially with the challenge timers where they are. I think there would be a huge flurry of activity because you can work together again, and that's big. So, anyway, that's my thought. There was so much, like that was like all we did January and February. Like I was talking with everybody, and yes, because it's fun as fuck when you're making money, right? Like on paper. It's super fun. It's not very fun when you're like not making money, right? It's binary in some ways, but you find different ways to like enjoy what you're collecting. And I found tons of ways to do that through like the residual stuff and making content and being in Discords and all this different stuff. But like the actual collecting element like is less fun when you have to do it alone. So I'll keep banging that drum.
It's really fun to when you're with 6 other people completing a challenge all together, waiting pins and needles to see what cereal you all get. Like it's way more fun than just one person.
Yeah. Lucky Maneki. Do you guys get any of these?
We need Chugs.
Yeah.
We need Chugs.
Chugs is a big Lucky Maneki guy. They gave away 30 Lucky Manekis to our Discord. They had a lot, to be frank.
Wow.
But there was they minted like 15,000 of them or something. Like a lot. Lucky Maneki. They are cool looking though. There's some weird ones. Do you see that like naked mole rat one? It was very, very scary.
Wait, so have they not revealed them yet?
Correct.
Or
So
have
they minted them yesterday, and they're available for the next or like 3 days. Actually saw an interesting tweet from Jimmy ETH that was basically like, this is the equivalent of like FOMO on ramping. Like the non-reveal reveal is just a way for people to pump. Oh, this one. So gross. Oh.
Baby Sphinx cat.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
They're wearing a diaper too? What is that?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's rough.
It's so gross. Oh man, that's so good. That's too good. I think you can name them though. That's a big plus for me. So it's kind of like Zed. Like if you breed a Zed horse, and we'll talk about this in a minute. If you breed a Zed horse, you get to name it, which I think is dope, and then it like retains that name forever. But that's a fucking weird one. So I think they gave away 30. I may have one coming to me, so we'll see. But
nice.
We'll see. I'm curious. I think they have a bunch of like games and sort of puzzle type stuff lined up in their roadmap. So it'll be curious to see if they can maintain attention. Similar to PTBC or any of these other things. I think that's one thing I will say about all of this is that there's a lot of fatigue across the board with these things, but the more novel even if it's a short-term utility thing of like, hey, I'm going to do this thing, even if it's a one-time thing, I actually don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm going to buy this. It's like a ticket to a fun event. It's like going to a fucking escape room. Like your escape room doesn't have to be the best memory that you've ever had forever, and you need a video of it to commemorate it, and you watch it every week. Who fucking cares? You go to the escape room once and you have fun with your friends. Okay, cool. You spent $25 or whatever the fuck it cost, right? Like you go to the amusement park, you like ride a roller coaster. You don't need to ride a roller coaster every fucking day. You can like ride a roller coaster and just be cool with it once a year. Like that, it's okay. To just have fun in a concentrated effort once. Like it, and I know that everybody's like, oh, it needs to stick around. Like, oh man, I'm collecting and collectible. Like if you look at it from let's be
real here.
Yeah, if you look at it as an admission ticket to like a fun game, or like, I don't know, assuming it's a fun game, right? Because if it's not a fun game, or if it's fucked up, or if it's, you get rugged on something, like definitely not fun. And you don't want to take a big ass bath, but like if it's reasonably priced, it's like cost of admission. Like that might be kind of fun to do. But yeah, the economics, all of these things are way out of whack.
Not everything has to be like a generational 100-year project,
right?
And we're kidding ourselves. We think some of these avatars are going to be that, right?
No,
yeah,
that's not too much of a take.
You don't want this to be. You don't want this guy to be your forever metaverse avatar.
That's Taylor's new profile pic.
Yeah,
they are heavily minting at a massive airdrop on reveal day. How many do you own, Coffee Attack? Still patiently waiting if I lucked out on the $1 million drop. Yeah, me too. You won 0.65 ETH. That's awesome.
That's not nothing.
That's not nothing at all. Very nice. He has 3. Very cool. I would like to see them. So send me a Twitter DM. once they get revealed to look at that. All right, let's move on. That's been 5 minutes.
I love that it's everything but Zed, the one thing you're dying to talk about.
No, not really. If we thought the Lucky Maneki sewer rat or like that art was bad, the Alien Boys takes the cake on by far. No, maybe not.
It's not.
There was the panda basketball. The Alien Boy art is atrocious. It's bad. It's just like bad. It's awful.
Oh yeah.
It's like a joke. And I hope it's a joke. I hope that's like, I hope they weren't trying. And I feel mean. I hope like, but like,
you can't be in the awkward middle ground. You either got to be like,
this is hokey on purpose,
joke, like
or
right. Yeah.
But I think even the art on Pickle is like more aesthetically pleasing than these, at least to me.
Totally.
I don't get it. You know how he's like cool and cute?
Yeah.
Like this is neither.
They remind me of like the little toys you would get in capsules from like the local pizza shop.
Yeah. This
like
is
glow in the dark.
2 ETH. Fuck out of here, man.
Pass.
Hard pass. It's a weird place too. There are some people that love this. Like, yeah. So when does this is true? When does collecting the worst NFTs become a thing? Well, funny you should mention that. So, Greg, you minted NFT. Oh no, I can't do that, right? Because I no, I have to go to Plunge-pourri.
Yeah, you could look yourself up.
But it doesn't. The NFT fuck bubbles don't show up on here, huh? Where did I hide them? I don't know. I don't think they.
I don't have them hidden on mine. You could check mine if you want.
I don't think I hid them though. Anyway, so what I'm getting at is that the NFT fuck bubbles that people could mint, they tweeted today that for some, I don't know anything what's going on with the technical stuff. They're like, they made a bunch of Amoebits. Like they like took the essentially the assets from Meebits and like pointed their tokens at the Meebit like asset stuff. No, I didn't sell them. I still have them all. J-Boos. I must have hid them, but I don't think I did. I didn't think I did. But I have like 10 of them still. I think two of mine turned into Meebits. Oh, OpenSea removed them. Oh, is this a different NFT fuck balls? No. I don't know.
Did they remove the ones that are Meebits?
I don't. I only had 2 out of my 10 though. Anyway, long story short, this might be the worst that I've seen. Like it's so funny. Like the names are stupid. Bored Apes Fuck Club, like so dumb. But this is like, and the pickle thing, like it clearly a joke, like supposed to be funny. Alien Boys. I hope it was a joke because they're bad. But that's just me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Opinions are like assholes, right? Everybody's got one and most of them stink. So continue on. All right. Do we want to talk about sewer rats? I kind of want to talk about, I want to look up a sewer rat so that you can see it in real time. All right. Horse banging. Oh, Lamella NFT. I bought, not sure when now. We'll maybe we'll get to the Lamella NFT. Horse bang. Zed breeding opened. It was chaos. I wish Chugs was here to talk about this. Or JVB or Quad. Because you guys don't care. But it was exciting. It was like one of those things. So you remember back in January, February with TopShot where you were like sitting in bed, like waiting for like the pack to drop. And you're like, I'm going to click it like as fast as I can. It was thrilling, Caruso. You're totally right. It was exhilarating. It was like so exciting. So for anybody that doesn't know, the Zed Run they had closed breeding for like the last 2 months. So you can't breed your horses and create new baby horses. And they changed the breeding rules in between all this stuff. So they, instead of telling everybody like, we're going to do it on this day, and this is what it was like, randomly at like 11 o'clock at night. And I think because they're based in Australia, they were like, breeding's open. I was like, fuck. All right. So there's a bunch of us that started going to town, trying to get our horses bred. And there's a bunch, it was scuffed. There were so many things that were fucked up about it. Like there was one horse that got bred like 30 times. They're only supposed to go like once at a time. And it was like there were ones that were creating multiple babies at the same time. There were some that like they would take your ETH and not do anything. It was crazy. But the best part, so you know how after pack drops, a bunch of people that get new stuff just have no idea how to price it. So one of the elements and the dynamics with Zed is that you get to decide how much, if you have a male horse and you want to put him in stud, is what they call it, if you want him to breed. The male horses get money back based on what someone pays to breed with them. The females pay to breed and get to keep the baby, right? So the male horses, you get to set what the stud fee is for your horse. So if you have, let's say, for example, a crazy horse that's like super fucking rare and wins 25% of the time, like you're going to set that super high because you want people to pay into your bloodline basically. And you want to make it, you don't want anybody and everybody being able to like breed with your horse, right? Because you want to make it exclusive, right? You want to make it your bloodline, whatever. So what was happening is that they had set like minimums for like a floor essentially for where you couldn't list below, so that, or it was like a suggested list price or whatever for particular thresholds. And people were like listing way below it for like super rare horses. So we were sitting there, and every time like one would come up, there was like they go by Z categories, like Z1 is the most rare, Z10 is the least rare. For the Genesis horses is what they call them, the ones that were just like created out of the blockchain, as compared to ones that were bred and created. And they're additive. So the baby gets the additive score of the Z numbers. So the idea is like the lower the Z, the better off you are. So we have a bunch of 9s and a 8 and a 6. And so we were trying to get our 6 to breed with like a 3 or a 4. That's what we were thinking. Like, okay, 3 or 4, somewhere in there, we'll get like an offspring that's a 9 or a 10. But the 3 or 4, like the floor price is like $350 or $450. And people were like coming in and listing them at like $60. And so everybody, it was like slamming like the low ask on TopShot when someone else like had accidentally listed something low, or like didn't know that they had the serial number or whatever. It was chaos. It was so fun, but not you had to like, instead of the waiting for the Flow blockchain, you got to wait for the Ethereum network. So it was even worse because everybody's paying gas out the ass for it. It was chaos. No, it's not. It's gasless because it's on Matic now. But like you were waiting for all the transactions to happen. But it was exhilarating. It was the most fun.
Do the horses have like stamina? Is that a concern? Like, can you only breed your male horse a certain number of times? Okay.
Yes. So the way that it works is you can, and it used to be 7 and 2. You could do 7 breeds in a month for a male and 2 breeds for a female. Now it is 3 and 1. So your male horse can breed 3 times in a month and your female horse can breed once. And baby horses can't be bred until they're 1 month old.
Seems appropriate.
It does seem appropriate. It's the governor, the regulator that they put on the speed of breeding, because otherwise it would just like they would mint a fucking shit ton of them. Everybody was kind of up in arms about it, but the idea is to sort of keep the supply trickling out slower than, I mean, essentially it would be double, or they cut it in half. So
right.
And because it's free money, I mean, it's like free fucking money. Like you're minting an NFT that you can turn around and sell for 0.15, like in many cases.
Wow. Which
I mean, and they're not inexpensive to get upfront, but like stud fees and like selling the offspring, it's a very interesting dynamic. It is. I think there was Max Minsker did like a really good. Hey, intro to Zed Run. I got into this and I spent a bunch of time figuring out the on-ramp to Zed Run is not as easy as other NFT projects. It's like relatively complicated to get started. But it is, I think, now that breeding is open and as a result, you can do some different things with your NFTs now. And now that there are a lot more horses available, the races become less like competitive, is because there's a lot more shitty horses that are racing. But like when there weren't any new horses being dropped, there weren't any new horses being created, everybody stopped racing the bad horses because it was just throwing ETH down the drain. So like the only people that were started racing or were still racing are either total degens and people that have like a crazy amount of money that they can just throw away, or people that like had awesome horses. So I like that it's been opened up because there's just like a lot more availability for good horses. Like a diversity in skill of horses to race. So we ended up we bred 2 of our females or 3 of our female horses. We got like 6 of them in the drops before. So we bred all of them and we got an extra baby horse out of it. So it was like we got one of the snafus. Yeah. It was the expensive one too. It was like the 6 plus the 3 to get the 9. We ended up with like 2 9s. And I think we ended up paying for it, but like we shouldn't have been able to, because the 6 was a female and you should only be able to breed once. So don't tell anybody. Don't make them take our horse away.
So have you named all these horses yet?
We've not. So
okay.
I'm not going to say what the names are that we're considering because I don't want anybody to take them. But most of them will be like plunge focused, plunge derivatives, and other things.
Surprising.
So. Gotta monetize, bro. Gotta get that personal brand. Name, image, and likeness. I gotta profit off my name, image, and likeness.
Yeah,
I'm super curious. Greg Murray, this is not NFT related thing.
Yep.
Take yourself back 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's 10 years ago. You're at not Cal Poly Pomona. You're at Point Loma, Nazarene. Name, image, and likeness is a thing. You can make money as a professional or a college athlete. How are you doing it? Can you?
How am I doing it? I don't think I could. Yeah. I don't think I had a big enough platform there to do that. But I mean, I posted about this earlier. Like if my college career was like sponsored or I had an endorsement with like the products that I used in college, I said it would have been Dino Nuggets and Pedia Pops. I had like survived off Dino Nuggets in college, and then our training room always had Pedia Pops that we weren't supposed to take after practice every day, but I definitely did. So those would be the 2 things that would have that I probably would have been my sponsorships or endorsements.
Oh, that's good. And
did you ever take that plunge? Did you ever try the original Jack 3D? Are you serious? Oh, you haven't lived.
Yeah.
That shit was insane. Turns out it had like a full-blown party drug in it. They had to clean it up.
I did not do that. So yeah, I think I don't know what my answer would be. It'd probably be like 4 Loco and like frozen chicken breasts. I think that would be it.
Nice.
I never have like been a workout guy, so I don't think that would surprise you necessarily, but never been motivated.
You didn't need to be in these times. You could just take it.
You'd
feel magical.
Gotta get some original Jack 3D.
Dude, we'd be gone for like 8 hours.
No joke. You would take this stuff and you would work out for like an hour and like hard. You'd like work out like as hard as you possibly could. Like 3 hours later in class, you'd be like itchy. You'd be like itchy sweaty. And like a little sweaty. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I probably would I would try and get like a bar sponsorship, I think. No, but I was having the reason I bring it up is it's been very interesting seeing like a handful of the really big name guys like in college football that are creating like personal logos. So like Spencer Rattler, he's the quarterback at OU, Boomer Sooner. Can't go pro right until his third or after his sophomore year or whatever. I was having this argument with some friends, but can you name 5 NFL football players that have their own personal logo? Like it just to
not
me,
NFL
it doesn't.
because I'm not a big football guy, but NBA I could probably think of
Yes,
some of them at least.
No, NBA it makes total sense. Golf makes total sense. Tennis makes total sense. Like NBA it's a lot more personal, right? Like it's a lot more like individualized. And yes, basketball is a team game. TB12, yep, I see you, JD Samudio. Cam Newton, I think, has one. There's just not that many. I think Terrell Owens had one. Anyway, long story short, far more common in players that can get like shoe deals, like in basketball and so forth, where it like requires personal branding to sell merchandise product, right? Like there's
PG.
not that, right?
PG.
There you go. Merchandise product. Like I would never, ever buy any, and I know that I'm not the target market maybe, but like, why would you buy something with Spencer Rattler's logo on it? Like and I know that these things are not mutually exclusive. People, and I'm not saying don't get your bread. Like go make as much money as you can in every avenue that you can that is available to you. I am very pro athlete in that regard. It just seems so confusing to me that like, why would they do all of these things? Yes, it may be like a cash grab type of thing, but like, wouldn't you go spend money like endorsing something that they'll actually pay you for, that you can be the face of or do whatever? It just seems like such a weird thing to like be touting. I don't know. Maybe it's a weird hill for me to die on.
Yeah.
Go for it, Greg.
I was just going to say, you would think these guys, it would be more like regional endorsements and stuff like that, like car dealerships and that kind of thing. Like I don't see any value in having kind of a logo like that or creating your own brand when you're at that level.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the number one guy.
Maybe like if you are the quarterback at OU and you can't get away with selling merch that is like a t-shirt jersey, but you can get away with selling merch that has your own logo, and it's like the best way to personally identify yourself.
True.
And you aren't allowed to put like Sooners on there. You can't put your number. There's probably restrictions, and maybe it's the easiest way to sell merch. And maybe, I don't know if they're thinking this far ahead, but it's something where you're like putting your stake in the ground saying, this is my logo. And if I make it to the NFL and Nike wants to do a shoe deal with me and they want to use a similar logo, like I already have this established, like you're going to have to pay up for it. I don't know.
That's possible. And maybe I'm just being a dum-dum about this, and like, the personal branding stuff is a key integral part of this, but like, it feels like there is a model for this and it's not that. Anyway, it's dumb for me. I'm a big fan of this. I think this is the greatest idea of all time. Snakeskin condoms. I love that. It's too good. Too good. But I wanted to pull up Justin Smarmy Bum's quote or tweet on this. I 100% see like gaming, streaming, like there's going to be a ton of that, and it's relatively like, hey, I can do this while I'm doing stuff I normally enjoy doing, right? Because there's like these guys, they have full-time jobs, and yes, they have to go to school and class and all that shit, but like, how can you still make money doing shit in your passive time? Like, this is the way to do it. So anyway,
Cameo.
Yeah, I actually saw Oliver tweeted that out today. He's like simping for them. I don't know if you guys saw Oliver, who is on the NBA TopShot Talk. But yeah, he was tweeting out like, hey, everybody, get up and be on this stuff, by the way. All these female gymnasts, like at LSU, and softball players at like Pepperdine and all this shit, that already have like massive Instagram and like TikTok followings because they're just like totally hot. They're just gonna they're gonna rake compared. This is bigger for women's sports than it is for men, to be quite honest. Unfortunately, sex sells is what it is. But yeah, anyway, there you go. So yeah, Oliver, I think, who I was on their stream and we did that cross stream 2 episodes ago, so like 3 weeks ago, worked for Cameo, and I think he's part of their like athlete partnership deal stuff. So anyway,
I'm gonna have to,
so if we ever Yeah.
Bring on Spencer Rattler on a little cameo to the stream just for you, Plunge.
Please don't. Please don't.
An awkward 10-minute conversation live.
Well, I've had a yeah. OnlyFans meets female athletes going to be a thing. Yeah, it is. The thing about Cameo, I've had a cameo directed at me. You saw it probably if you saw that tweet about throwing a ball into Petco Park. Tony Gwynn can suck it. Anyway,
Tony Gwynn?
Tony Gwynn Jr.
Junior.
Yeah, I'm like RIP.
Yeah.
My bad, dude. All right. To be honest, I don't know anything about either of these. Do you know anything about either of these?
No.
Okay.
I know wicked craniums look like what is it, Coco? That's all I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Tony Gwynn Jr. is a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. But yes, I think we should cut it there. I think it's been a good 2 hours and 15 minutes. We got through a lot. We talked about a lot of different shit. Let's just run it back next week.
We can cover these next time. Or not.
I mean,
I'd
might as well. Still goddamn papers in this fish. Yeah. So with that, I do want to not preview, but we are interested if you have ideas of what you want us to talk about and do. We do this every Thursday because we like talking to each other and talking about shit. If there are people out there hey, we really want to see this, or you guys should do a stream with this person or whatever, hit us up, hit me up in DMs. My DMs are open. I do think, and Greg, I'm sort of springing this on you. We have talked about doing something related to sort of race, gender, inclusivity, diversity in the NFT space more broadly. And I know that tonight, I'm not sure if we're up against them, but the TopShot females, or Steph and her group of folks that do streams there, they've got stuff going on. But I think we do want at some point to do that. So if you know anybody that would be a good person or people to speak in that, or that you want to think that would want to be part of that conversation, or anybody here that would want to, that's in the Twitch chat that would want to be part of a conversation about gender and inclusivity and diversity in the NFT space, race, all those other things, we're going to do it at some point. I don't know when. It's got to do it when the timing's right and all that. But I do want to have those types of conversations because I think they're really thought-provoking and important and meaningful. So on that note, anything else? Any parting thoughts before we break?
I don't have anything. Go check out the Cool Cats NFT. The guys that were just on.
Cool Cats NFT.
I am going to go buy one.
What's the floor right now? Hold on. Let's go check the floor. Is it still 0.019?
I probably should have said that after I bought, right? To save myself a little bit.
Hold on. Here we go.
You buy and then you pump, Greg.
Buy then pump.
Got that mistaken.
Yeah. All right. There is currently one that is available below mint. That's it.
And it's
Right
unrevealed.
now.
They are revealed though. That's the thing. I don't know.
I look distracted.
I don't know how to do it. But anyway, all right. We'll let you go buy your Cool Cats NFTs. Congratulations, boys. You're going to be part of the Cool Cats one way or another.
I told you I was getting in that Discord.
I know. You're not this one. All right. Well, should we play the fun funky outro again? I think we should. We'll talk to you later.
Roll the tape.